What is up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Stopher Cavins, psychic medium, and I'm here to give you my final US election predictions. It's time. We're finally getting there. I just want to check in with everybody to see how you are doing. Checking on a friend, so to speak. Are you anxious? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you ready for this whole thing to be over? That's kind of where I'm at with it, right? Uh, Way too much talk about politics. I'm the casual, person as far as politics goes. It's not really my thing. I'd much more rather be cheering for my sports teams rather than politicians to win something. Anyway, so we're going to get into that. First, I want to just a few housekeeping things. Of course, I would love it if you would hit the like button. And if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, I'll be forever grateful if you do that as well. I'm trying to build up the numbers, build up the channel a little bit so we can reach more people, connect more people with each other. That's kind of the idea here. Anyway, so also before I get into the predictions, they're coming. Don't worry, they are coming. I know a lot of folks, give comments that it takes me way too long to get into things. I apologize for that, but I just feel like I do want to let you know how I read. Where is this information coming from? I assure you, I'm not just guessing. It's a little more than that. I am getting information that's beyond just what I'm hearing and seeing here on the human level. I do communicate with energy. So I just wanted to quickly explain, because I think when I talk about energy and how I connect, I do leave out some things sometimes. And then people question, what is this dude even doing? I do believe in guides. I do believe in angels. I do believe in this beautiful spiritual energy. And that's what I connect with. A lot of times I don't like to give human attributes to energy, right? So when we talk about angels and guides, I don't name them. I don't communicate with them like I would a human. It's just all energy to me. It comes from one source. We're all part of that source. Our loved ones in spirit are part of that source. Angels, guides, universe, all of it. It's just like a big pot of, don't discern what is the chicken, what is the sausage, what's the rice, what's the vegetables. I just scoop my little spoon in there and we just kind of go from there, right? So that's how I do it. That's where the information is coming from, and I'm basically giving you my opinion of that information as I communicate with it. This week, and specifically today, I have spent several sessions kind of focusing, getting mindful with that energy, and having those conversations to see where things are going. And here are my predictions. Finally, we're there. All right. We are going to start with the U.S. House of Representatives. This will be short and sweet. It's going from Republican to Democrat. All right. So whether you like that or don't like that, it's where things are headed. I've got 222 seats for the Democrats and 213 for the Republicans. There will be some tight races, but that's kind of where I see it. Hakeem Jeffries will be the Speaker of the House. I kind of really love the energy here. I think that's really going to put a good focus, regardless of the politics. It's just kind of really solidifies how things are going. It feels like there's a little bit of streamlining, just the, how things are, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, I can't think of the word, but it feels cohesive. We'll leave it at that. Like I said, short and sweet on that. We will now go to the Senate, U.S. Senate. That is going to, I think currently there is, I don't know if it's like, and like I said before, I'm super casual with my politics. It's not my thing. I don't really have a lot of faith in the system. So therefore I tune out a lot of times. I do, of course, vote and do my civic duty there. But I feel like currently it's like 50-50 or 49-50. I'm not sure. But what I'm seeing when we get to the elections, and I'm going to go, actually I have some notes here. So I'm going to go into the specific races I see it going Republicans with 50, Democrats with 47, true blue Democrats, and then there will be three independents. And I believe we're going to talk about, I think his name is Dan Osborne from Nebraska. Uh, he's one of those independents that he's made it clear he's not caucusing with Democrats or Republicans. So he's like this true blue independent. Kind of really felt into his energy. It's very interesting to me. So Ted Cruz is going to win Texas. I think will be pretty close, but he's if it also at the same time feels pretty locked into me. That's just kind of where I see it headed. Sheehy will win Montana. Gallego, the Democrat, will win Arizona. Scott, the Republican, will win Florida. Also, Brooks, the Democrat, will win Maryland. And then Casey, the Democrat, will win Pennsylvania. Baldwin, the Democrat, will win Wisconsin. And Slotkin. So I forget her first name, but the Democrat Slotkin will win her seat there in Michigan. When I felt her energy, it was and I didn't know anything about her. I'd never even seen a picture of her. I just kind of saw the list and that's where it took me. But as I kind of tune into her energy, I really like it. Uh, I felt this military type of energy, so I wanted to look her up and see her story. And turns out she was in the CIA and did several tours with the military. I think in Afghanistan. But I think she's just kind of getting her platform, and then there's a good trajectory. So my prediction with her is it doesn't end there. I mean, she's kind of maybe one of these rising stars in the Democratic Party. And then when we get into Nebraska, so this is also when I got into this energy with this Dan Osborne, who I also didn't know much about. This is another where there's a trajectory here, uh, and I also didn't know much about him or anything about him, and I was getting this like kind of almost it felt very similar to if you guys know who Sean Fain is. He's the United Auto Worker president or something. He's one of the main rep there. He's got that kind of that energy was coming up, and so I wanted to look into it, and it turns out he was a mechanic and did a lot for unions and that type of thing. This is another one where I feel like he's just getting his platform here, and then we've got a big time trajectory, even more so with him. Where I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking down the road presidential candidate or being a part of a presidential cabinet or something like that. Like I say, down the road, but very very interesting, good energy there. So, and I do think he's going to be like a true independent, where he's not always going to vote one with one party or the other. It's going to be pretty split. Actually, is what I'm being shown, and I know this gives the Republicans the majority. Well, I'm kind of giving away the next prediction when we get into the president, but um, there's also Republican in there. It's almost like I'm getting like Fox in the hen house kind of thing, where there's one of these red Republicans that also is. I don't think they'll be able to count on for every vote. Um, Kind of like John McCain was, a thorn in Trump's side back in his presidency, where he shot down the I think it was like repealing the ACA or something, and the famous like thumbs down. So there is a Republican that kind of has that rogue maverick kind of feel to it. They're not good to go, all the time there. So it's going to be interesting. It's and maybe this will be a nice way to get that reaching across the aisle and actually getting back to legislating and that type of thing. All right, let's go to the president. I've made this prediction before. Nothing's, well, I don't want to say nothing's changed. There have been some changes, but as far as who I'm predicting as the winner has not changed. I am predicting that Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States. It will be a super super close race. So the closest race, I mean, the last couple have been super close, but as far as like And I know we have to look at the Electoral College back in 2000. I think that was the first election I ever voted in. And I think I voted for George Bush because I was in the military. I was in the military in boot camp in January of that year, and I remember all the RDC saying, the Republicans are good for military. You need to vote Republican. So, being an impressionable 20-year-old, that's what I did. And so, um, and I always vote. When I just turned in my ballot the other day, and there were Democrats, there were Republicans, there were independents that I voted for. Um, so anyway, that I don't even know where I was going with that, but it's going to be that close. Is kind of where I was going with the 2000 thing. With Florida being separated by like 500, 600 votes. And probably, I know not all the votes really got counted the way that some folks might have wanted to. We're going to have that kind of situation again. I feel like there's like maybe 2 to 4 or 3 or 4 Florida type situations where it is contested. And we do have to go through some processes, and there is confusion, and there is vitriol, and all that fun stuff that we're hoping is over. Unfortunately, I think that we're going to have several weeks of kind of things being up in the air. I think we'll have a winner projected, and then it's just about getting us over the finish line as far as getting everything, all the arguments settled, so to speak. Um, I do think also what they're showing me is Kamala Harris will win the. I wrote that wrong. I was looking at my notes. She will win the popular vote. I wrote that she'll win the electoral college. She will win the popular vote by what they're showing me. It feels to me very similar to like Hillary in 2016. With For her, it's going to be between 3.5 million and 4 million votes, popular vote, and then Donald Trump will win the electoral college to the dismay of many. Uh, the states, the battleground, I kind of went into the battleground states to see where things were tipping as far as because for me, just to let you know, is of course I've seen polls and kind of have an understanding of where things are, and really all these for the most part are kind of 50-50. And then I kind of see where the energy takes me, right, and kind of see the nuances of the energy there. Wisconsin, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, I'm predicting will go to Kamala Harris. I think the polls are showing that she's down by a point or two. I think she's going to actually win by a couple points there, by like 2 points or like 1.5 points. I think she's underperforming in the polls, but will actually win North Carolina. The energy there feels a lot better for her than it does Donald Trump. Once again, still very, very close. Uh, Donald Trump in Michigan, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. That's a squeaker, by the way. He'll win those, and that will give him the electoral college. Not by much. It's going to be close. And then, of course, there's going to be lawsuits. I don't think you have to be a psychic to know that, but that energy is there for sure. And I made this prediction before too. I still feel like it's like there's so much kind of blocking energy here that I'm also predicting that there will be some things that actually make it to the Supreme Court that where their decisions will favor Donald Trump. I'm not predicting that they decide it, but they will make some decisions on some different cases that will give him the kind of the clear the runway, so to speak, so that he can move forward. My team wants everyone to know that even if you're like anti-Trump, and by the way, I'm not a. I want to make this clear because everybody wants to say that I'm a Trumper just because I have predicted a few times that he will win. I'm not. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I've never voted for Donald Trump. He just doesn't speak to me. I'm not. I'm not here to bash him or his supporters. I'm just. I don't really like any politicians, but he just doesn't speak to me. I don't vote for him. I may or may not have written someone in. I'm a big Mark Cuban fan, so I'm just waiting till Mark Cuban runs for president. I think he's too smart to do that, though. Anyway, so but I know a lot of folks that watch this channel are rooting for a different result. The energies want you to know that everything's going to be okay. It will be a trying, challenging next couple of years. It's what it's showing me is it's one of these things where we have to take a couple steps forward. And I know people are like, I thought we already did that. Take a few steps backwards so that we can kind of get some new blood, get some new energy, maybe fix our political system is kind of what's being shown to me, because I do sense there's going to be some splinters and some, fractures in different parties. There'll be some opposition parties. It's almost like when you hear about these opposition parties coming up in, other countries, I think we're going to get to that where these parties spring up, these independent parties and that type of thing. And then, it's a bit of a different ball game. And then also campaign funding and all that kind of gets sorted out. So it's going to be okay. I'll say it again. It's going to be okay. But it might be a little rough before it gets better. But I actually do feel like we can get to those sunny skies after, the clouds part. All right. Let me just think if there's anything else I want to share with you, because that's what I had there on my notes. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Of course, if you have not yet hit the like button, please do that. And then if you have not subscribed, please do that as well. I'm super appreciative of everybody that's here. If I've made predictions you don't like, I apologize. I'm just giving you the energy that I get. It's the conversation I have with energy. So thank you again for watching. Oh, by the way, I do personal private readings. If you would like to schedule one of those, please go to my website, stophercavins.com. You can see all my availability, what services I offer, and book right from my website. So we can, we can do it like this. And yeah, until next time, peace always.